All right. Oh, by the way, before we go further on Spurs, Manchester United fans tuning in, we recognize big win, big call in doing what many people had said all along. Cristiano Ronaldo needs to play with a striker to get the best out of him, including us. He did it. We're going to talk about United later in the quick hits, okay? But well done, Ole. Well done. Now do it again against Atalanta. We'll be getting into all that. Okay, so we're not
ignoring you. We're not ignoring you.
You know, because the Get Behind Ole Brigade are up in arms again, and they're going to be like, oh look, Ole just talk negative stuff about Spurs. Nuno just got sacked.
Yeah,
that's bigger news.
I was thinking last night, if Son, 0-0 has that big chance, after the corner, the ball comes back and he skies it. If he scores that, if Spurs open the scoring, we might be sat here telling a different story.
Yes, and if my aunt had wheels, she'd be a bicycle.
Yeah.
Come on. But let's go back to this because, there is an issue here with the managerial appointments, right? We touched upon Conte. I mean, my impression here, quite clearly, is first of all, and I know the relationship Conte Paratici in Italy, they're already going in overdrive. Oh, look, now Conte might go back. Yeah, okay, so Conte and Paratici worked well together. That was at Juventus. That was in a totally different context.
Completely.
That was some years ago.
Yeah.
If I'm Conte, the first thing I'm thinking is, okay, if I wanted to take the job, like you said, in the summer, when Paratici wheels out Rino Gattuso as his solution to Tottenham's problems, come on, man. That's not a logical.
No.
That's not a logical outcome at all. So if I'm Conte, I'm like, wait a minute, you pushed Gattuso in the summer, and now
exactly, and others as well. And I don't know what would have changed for Conte now to say, actually, this is arguably a much tougher time to go there than it was in the summer, where you still had a bit of preseason left. You could still have said, let's sell Kane and spend that money to strengthen the squad that needs to be strengthened. Compared to now, you're stuck with those players at least until January, and then good luck in January to sell some out and bring some new in. So I'm like, okay, I think Conte would be great. I want him to come back to Premier League and have another great manager here, of course. But
I think
if I was him.
And the other obvious thing with Conte is that Conte comes in and he lays out the very simple message about ambition, about wanting to be the best at all costs, and that means spending money.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is why he left Inter. This is why he ended up leaving Chelsea, right? Because he sat there and he says, oh, Roman Abramovich has all this money and he's not spending it on the team. This is why he left Juventus, right? Top player. So I don't fault him for it. And it's not fair either to say that he can only be good when he spends money, because he's been good when he hasn't spent money.
The national team.
I think his finest work. I mean, what he did in those Euros with the least talented Italy side, and more than my lifetime in the last half a century, I thought was incredible. So it's not a knock on you, Antonio, at all. But when you go in, you say, well, I'm going to come in on my terms, because I am in demand. I've only been out of work for a couple months. I won the league last time I was there. So I look at this and I say, how does this jibe with Spurs, who took out a government loan to help pay for their stadium, who notoriously generally haven't been big spenders? So to me, there is no natural fit there with him. I'd love to see my man Paulo Fonseca come back, who, lest we forget, was told he was getting the job until they pulled Rino Gattuso out of the hat and be like, Paolo, you just wait. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Paolo would want that because obviously he's been linked to other jobs. But Conte, I don't see this, but stranger things have happened. But I think there is a broader issue here with the club and the frustration of Tottenham fans, I think, with the ownership. And I go back to this. You hinted at it before. Every time we talk about Spurs ownership, it goes back to Daniel Levy. Let me remind people, Daniel Levy does not own the club. He's a major shareholder, but the biggest shareholder is somebody else. Somebody who, when we go through the list of super wealthy, greedy owners, never gets mentioned, even though he's now in his 80s. He's a billionaire many times over. I don't know how much more money he needs to make. He can't spend it. And that man is Joe Lewis. Joe Lewis, of course, was from London, local boy, self-made man, and then he decided to go live somewhere else in tax exile, so he wouldn't have to spend as much money giving back to the country that gave him the opportunities to go and build a fortune. No, I'm sorry.
True.
It bugs me that this guy never, ever, right? The Glazers are all devils. They're all little Satans, right? But this guy always gets a pass from fans, and it's always Levy.
But because Levy's
part of it.
But because Levy takes all the decisions. He makes the decision. This is very much his club, although it's owned mostly by Joe Louis. And for me, this whole mess is on Daniel Levy. His inability in the summer to go and close and just sign his first choice manager, whoever that was, Pochettino, whoever, I don't know. But for him to eventually,
no, it wasn't Pochettino.
No, but to eventually agree to Nuno, whether Paratici pushed him, whether it was Levy himself when he met him, who said, yeah, you know what, this is a good... From the beginning we said this is the wrong call. From the beginning we said this is never going to work. He gave us a brief. Levy said, okay, he needs to play good football with youth, with this, with that. And then they appointed the guy, the complete opposite. But for me, it's on Levy. It's on Levy to have this so rigid, well structured that maybe at the time was right and worth it. But clearly now, if you want to be ambitious and to take this club forward, this has to change. This lack of investment has to change as well, Gab. There's a point where you can't just say like, let's do it on a cheap, because this team is a cheap team.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.